When we think of Switzerland, we may think of mountains, mountains such as the mighty Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is one of the many peaks included among the chain of mountains called the Alps. Tourists come from all over the world to enjoy the majestic beauty of the Alps. These mountains make up 2/3 of the land of Switzerland. A lower range of mountains, the Jura, cover 1/6 of the land. The Jura Mountains form the northwestern boundary between France and Switzerland. The Jura Mountains in the northwest and the Alps in the south form the natural boundaries of Switzerland. Switzerland is a small, landlocked European country. It is entirely surrounded by larger countries: France, West Germany, Austria, and Italy. There is no single Swiss language. Here, a dialect of French is spoken. Here, a German dialect is spoken. An Italian dialect is spoken in the southern mountainous regions bordering Italy. All of Switzerland is not mountainous. A plateau, the Mittelland, or, as it is said in German, Mittelland, extends across the country from Lake Geneva on the French border to Lake Constance on the German border. The Mittelland lies between the Jura Mountains and the Alps. The Alps, as we have seen, cover most of Switzerland. The mountain slopes in this cool, moist climate are suitable for grazing cattle. In the summertime, fine dairy cattle graze in the high mountain pastures under the watchful eyes of the herder. The milk from these herds is taken to towns and cities, where it is made into a famous Swiss product, cheese. Here, bits of curdled milk, called curds, are being lifted out of a vat. The liquid running out of the cheesecloth bag is called the whey. The bag of curds is then moved over to a mold. The curds of raw cheese are pressed into the mold to give the cheese a round shape. In this cellar, the cheeses are stored and allowed to age for several months. This is called curing. When the cheeses are cured or ripe, they are taken to the marketplace. Here, some will be exported, and some will be sold to the people of this alpine town. Many smaller alpine towns are famous for another kind of industry, the tourist trade, a leading industry in Switzerland. Such towns have excellent inns and hotels. The high mountain slopes are good for skiing and other winter sports. Mountain climbing is very popular in Switzerland. This Swiss guide makes his living by leading climbers up the steep trails. From the high mountains, we might see one of many dams which store water from the mountain streams and glaciers. These dams help convert water power into electricity, electricity used by Swiss factories and railroads. The water, snow, and ice of Switzerland's mountains are the source of important European rivers. The Rhone and Rhine rivers, for example, have their beginnings in the Alps. But perhaps most important of all, the Alps in the south and the Jura Mountains to the northwest have given the people of Switzerland natural boundaries. The protective mountains have helped to keep the Swiss people free and independent for centuries. Here in the Jura Mountains of Switzerland, particularly in the city of La Chaux-de-Fonds, the watchmaking industry of Switzerland had its beginnings centuries ago. Like this craftsman, watchmakers once worked in little shops in their own homes. But the watchmaking industry in the Jura region of Switzerland has grown into a factory industry with different men making different parts of the watches. In these factories, up-to-date machinery is used to make precision watches. In addition to the watchmaking industry, forests on the slopes of the Jura Mountains supply lumber for making paper and furniture. Different products come from the more level lands of the Swiss Mittelland. This is the important farming and manufacturing center of the country. Some parts of the Mittelland are level enough so that large farm machines can be used to grow and harvest grain crops. This is a field of wheat. Rye, barley, and oats are also grown here. Along with grain crops, potatoes are also grown here in abundance by Swiss farmers. This potato crop is being harvested by an entire farm family of the Mittelland. Only 1/6 of the total land of Switzerland is used for farming. Most of the wealth of the country comes from manufacturing and industry. This factory in the city of Schaffhausen is one of the many located in the large Mittelland cities of Switzerland. Other large Mittelland cities are Geneva, Lausanne, Fribourg, Lucerne, Zurich, Basel, and Berne. Berne is the capital of Switzerland, a picturesque city which has kept its old world charm. The name Berne comes from the German word which means bears. The city keeps a number of bears in this pit. Most bears seem to like performing, and these are no exception. Their antics attract many townspeople and tourists. Another attraction in Berne is the famous clock tower. At the stroke of each hour, a little jester rings 2 bells, and figures of soldiers and animals appear. A scene that children especially enjoy. The Parliament building in Berne is the center of the national government, called the Swiss Confederation. The legislators who meet in Berne to make the laws are elected by the 22 states of Switzerland. These states are known as cantons. In the canton of Zurich, located in the Mittelland, is Zurich, Switzerland's largest city. In the old section of Zurich are narrow streets and old-fashioned houses. But a new section of Zurich reflects a modern city. A city which is Switzerland's chief manufacturing center. This textile plant in Zurich manufactures silk fabrics. Much of the silk produced here is exported to other countries. Textile machinery of many types is also manufactured in Zurich. In addition to manufacturing, Zurich is an important world banking center. Because Switzerland has a history of avoiding wars and maintaining a stable government, banking has become a big international business. Banks can be found in many Swiss Mittelland cities. This bank is located in Basel, Switzerland's second largest city. Basel is a gateway to Switzerland from the north. Situated on the upper Rhine River in the Mittelland, Basel is the country's only port. To Basel, barges on the Rhine bring coal from the Ruhr Valley in Germany. Swiss manufacturing depends greatly on imported raw materials such as coal. In turn, Swiss products, such as machinery, are sent by rail from Basel to other European markets. Foodstuffs, such as chocolate and condensed milk, are other exports sent down the Rhine from Basel. So the large Swiss cities of the Mittelland are centers of commerce and industry. We saw that in these cities, many Swiss people make a living in textiles and other industries. Many others are employed in finance and banking. And some are farmers in the Mittelland. In the mountainous parts of Switzerland, many people earn a living from the tourist trade and watchmaking. Others are employed in lumbering and dairying. We have seen Switzerland as a beautiful and rugged country where the people have made excellent use of their land and other natural resources to build an industrious and thriving nation.